Nutrition Depot, your fitness fuel.
All right, we're back. So today we are tackling about myths and misconceptions. So if you guys have not watched part one, which is basically we talked about the basics, the calories, the macros and stuff, I love you guys to go back to that first and then come back to us today. So today, again, we are joined by our two lovely friends. We have Inka and Val.
Hello. Hi again.
There
I'm
we
so
go.
excited to get into this because
love it.
we always encounter myths and misconceptions. Lalo na now, diba, social media is so
Yes,
full of like
exactly.
anyone can just wear like
Can be an expert, di ba? Magiging fitness expert na.
Ay, totoo yan. Frustrations namin yan.
I bet. So I'm excited to talk about stuff today.
Great. Okay. So, sige, let's start with Val. What would you say would be the first misconception na narinig mo sa entire nutrition?
Yung carbs is bad. Di ba?
Oh.
Eat
Yeah.
as little carbs as possible. Yun talaga, no rice, ganyan.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then what you mentioned nga in our previous episode na actually it's important to have a healthy amount of carbs kasi it's energy.
Yeah, yung ratio. Gulat ako sa ratio. 3:2 is to 1,
Yeah.
right? And 3 is carbs.
Oo, yun nga. I would think na 3 yung protein.
Yeah.
Di ba? Yung
yeah,
pala
yeah,
carbs
yeah.
pala for energy.
Yeah.
Correct. Actually, yun. So, that myth actually started because it was one of those shortcuts that, people like shortcuts, right?
Right.
People like instant gratification.
Yeah.
Pati kahit ngayon, pati social media natin, shorts na lang nga eh.
Oo.
So, yung carbs kasi, it's the easiest way to make the number on the scale move.
I see.
So, the carbs is bad movement started nung 1990s pa.
Yeah.
That, you see, if you look at the entire trend ng nutrition, it cycles around. It's a wheel. People hate carbs. People hate fat.
Yeah.
1970s, people hate fat. Di ba? Yung mga lolo natin.
Yeah.
Ay, wag
yeah.
yan, mamantika yan.
Mag-reduce ka,
cholesterol
mag-reduce.
yan. Oo, tanggalin mo yung balat ng ganyan.
no?
Di ba? Tanggalin mo yung balat ng ganyan, tanggalin mo yung taba ng ganyan. So, they hate fat.
I love fat.
Diba? At some point, people started going, we love fat, we hate carbs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
At some point, people keep saying, breakfast is important. And then some people just go like, don't eat breakfast.
IF
Yeah.
naman. Diba?
IF
May
naman.
16-8, may ganyan.
Right? So going back na, yun nga, why did it start? It's part of the trend. They're constantly looking for something to blame. They want a fall guy.
Yeah.
And usually, yun nga yung unang culprit, carbs.
Oh, we're carbs.
Right? Kasi it's very practical. It comes from a very practical place where ang dami mong kinain. 3:1. Kalahati ng plato mo kanin. Tanggalin mo yung kanin.
Ayun.
Papayat ka. Exactly, that's it.
Oo, true.
Right? So, is it true though? Right? Of
Is it
course,
bad?
Diba? Is it bad? The answer can be simple as, of course, it's not bad. No food is inherently good and bad.
Right.
But it depends on your requirements. Yun na lang, syempre, diba? So, it depends on what are you doing with that carb. So, if you just keep taking carbs and carbs and carbs,
And then it's bad.
yeah, it's bad, of course. Right?
Ika nga ni Spice Girls, too much of something
Is bad.
Is bad.
Exactly.
Alam mo ako personally, parang I still struggle with yung sinabi mo na no food is inherently good or bad. Kasi I always have this mindset na chips is bad, chocolate is bad, sweets is bad. How do I break kaya that mentality?
May trick ako dyan. O, isipin mo ganito. Burger. Ano laman ng burger? Is burger good or bad?
I would say
Good.
bad.
Right. It's dirty. It's good. It's magkaiba naman yung iniisip niyo eh. Ito, good for your soul. Pero diba, typically you would say it's dirty.
Yeah, it's
bad
junk food.
right?
It's ano.
But when you break down, like going back to our previous episode, like break down mo siya in terms of macros. Ano laman niya? Bread. Is bread bad?
Bread is carbs, di ba?
Yeah, it's carbs. Is protein bad? Yung meat, yung patty.
Yeah.
May tomato yun.
And lettuce.
And lettuce,
And
is
onions.
that bad?
And pickles.
Right?
Mayonnaise.
And cheese.
Right?
Parang nagutom na si Inka.
Malapit na mag-lunchtime. Anyway, diba, going back to that, is that bad? Diba? Yung components niya, is it bad? So how come when you assemble that,
Yeah.
why does it become bad? Or for example, you look at a salad.
Why is that good?
Why is that good? It's still lettuce, it's still tomatoes, it's still cheese,
Yeah.
it's still meat.
Yeah.
May carbs pa rin siya, yung croutons.
Yeah,
Right?
true.
So what's the difference between the two? Yan na, mind
And
blown
then you
ka
can
na,
also
diba?
put like an olive oil vinaigrette that's still
Right.
fat.
Still fat,
Yeah.
right? So at the end of the day, yun nga yung sinasabi ko that there's no inherently good or bad food.
So
Because,
what you're saying, Coach, is a burger is a salad.
yes. And a salad is a deconstructed burger.
Oo, okay yun, ah.
In essence, right? Or a sandwich na deconstructed lang siya. Right? So, yun, going back to that nga, I mean, it depends on how you view it psychologically. Of course, there's no inherently good or bad food.
Right.
But excess carbs, that's where it becomes bad.
Right.
Okay, alright. Got it.
Yeah.
And when does excess happen? It's when you eat a lot of carbs, more than one serving, more than half a cup, but you're not using it.
Right.
Carb up ka, kain ka, tatlong, unli rice ka, 8 cups ang kinain mo,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
then, anong ginawa mo? You sit down on your job,
You
9 to
sleep.
5. Oh, diba? So, hindi ka naman ginawang bear na para
True.
mag-hibernate. Right?
Yeah.
So, that's the only context na it becomes bad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you probably will use it.
Yeah.
You need it.
Because I remember we were talking about in the previous episode, you were saying na you adjust what you eat depending on what you're going to do after,
Exactly,
like
yeah.
how you're going to use it, right? So if you're going to, you know that you're going to just sit at your office, ganon, you're going to be doing some reports, ganyan, or you want to take a nap, don't eat as much carbs because you don't need it,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But if you're going to work out after, run a marathon, ganyan, go, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Bakit pala may nakikita ko na iba, like when they run, afterwards they will get a donut or a cookie. What is the
right.
concept behind that?
Okay. So they have this weird concept for recovery, right? So when you talk about a post-workout meal, may 3 goals yan. Number 1 is that you tend to recover what you lost during the exercise.
Right.
Okay, so what did you lose during the exercise? So number 1, of course, that's water, you sweat. Yeah. Number 2 is electrolytes. Number 3 is carbs. Number 4 is protein. And that's it. Right?
Okay.
So, let's look at the donut. Okay, donut recipe tayo. Sino mo magluto sa inyo? Okay, so a donut is what? Flour. That's carbs.
Sugar?
Eggs.
Right, sugar, the
Yeah.
topping.
Yeah.
Right, what else? Butter.
Butter. Eggs.
Fat.
Does it have egg?
Yeah,
it does, no?
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, additives, baking soda, and stuff to make it rice, and yeast, whatever, right? So, coming into that, the donut, is it a good post-workout meal? In the context of yung content niya, sugar and flour, it recovers carbs. So that's good,
Right.
right? How about the fat? Yung cream cheese na kasama nun, yung toppings, yung...
Or how it was fried.
Diba? It could be fried
Right.
as well. Diba?
Yeah.
Baked donuts, fried donuts.
Yeah.
So the extra fat there is something that you don't need, which makes it a bad post-workout choice.
Right.
Right? So it goes back to wala siyang inherent na good or bad, but there are certain qualities in a certain food item that will make it better or worse
Right.
for your goal.
Right.
So kung goal mo naman is to recover lang, you can take the carbs. Choose the lesser fatty alternative ng donut. Make it plain, make it baked. Sige, mag-donut ka.
Yeah.
Parang lesser evil na lang.
Ganon.
How about you, Inka? Any mga myths and misconceptions you encountered along the way?
I was just thinking about one because we were talking about workouts, right?
Right.
And when I started doing, I don't really do fitness content, just to build the context. The content that I do is medyo holistic, like holistic siya. So like I show what my life is.
Right.
So like I do voiceover content because that's my job. And then I do like I have my thoughts and I like to talk about these things again. And now that I started taking my fitness seriously, I started doing my fitness content to make it like more accessible to people because what a lot of people see in terms of fitness online is yung mga fitness influencers or athletes. They're already at the peak of their game. So what happens is when the normal people, the people who don't really have fitness in their lives as much, it looks to be
Unreachable.
yeah.
Right.
Like parang that kind of look or muscle tone can only apply to people who are fitness influencers. So what I did was I started documenting my fitness journey. So they saw from what I looked like with my PCOS bloat and everything until whatever my progress is now. And then the multiple times that I get in the comments, people ask me, Miss Inka, what is the best workout to lose belly fat? Miss Inka, what's the best workout to tone my arms? Or could you
Parang ang
have
spot, ano yung tawag?
Spot reduction.
yon?
Yun.
Parang what I need to make my thighs smaller. What thigh workout can you give me? Parang ganon.
Gets.
And is that real or is that a misconception?
Right.
I wanna share lang kasi I could totally relate, especially when I was starting out, no? Pag nakikita mo sa YouTube, all these mga sobrang model bodies, how to have 11 line in 7 days. I do it for 7 days. Oh, asan na yung 11 line?
And that's the thing.
Parang ganun.
Exactly, because you have so many parang content creators then that are not really credible, but they look credible because
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
wearing like,
they're
athleisure
naked.
or they're naked or like they're in a bikini and they look good and they're like, if you want to lose belly fat, this is what you should do, or like stop doing this, do this instead.
I can actually envision it while you were saying that. Yun yung mga ads na lumalabas na
Exactly.
may skipped ads sa gilid. Tapos may
Yeah.
nakahubad na kumakain ng pizza.
Yun. So what are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so my first question is like, what did you actually say to your followers sa ganyan?
I told them what I know. And what I learned was there's no such thing as spot reduction. If you want to lose belly fat, if you want to lose the jiggle in your arms, it's number one, it's genetics. What you look like comes down to genetics. Number two, if you want to lose belly fat, it's sasabayan sa overall fat mo. You
Right.
can't just lose belly fat. You have to work out and your entire body
Love it.
loses weight.
Generally, people, diba, tsaka women, yung last talaga to lose is really the belly
The
fat.
pouch,
That's why I'm
yeah.
so envious talaga, to be honest, with people na, yung first na nawawala na fat is
Sa tiyan.
Is tiyan. And like, konting
Yeah.
diet lang, may abs na.
That's me. I lose fat sa chan ko agad. But my problem area are
Yeah.
my
Everyone has a
arms.
problem
yeah,
area
everyone has
naman,
a
to be
problem
fair.
area. Yeah.
Okay, so actually, from a professional standpoint, people kasi like to nitpick. More so women than men.
Yeah.
Oh, sa men, konting exercise lang, medyo nag-pump itsura. I look great! Oh, sa women naman, kahit na 2 years na nag-exercise, talagang medyo,
Hindi pa to.
Oh, hindi pa to eh.
Yeah.
Hindi pa yan eh. May problema pa rin dito sa likod eh. O itong
Yeah.
arms na to. O kahit sa kalikili, yung taba dito sa gilid.
You know what? I love my little. I don't care about these things.
Ayun. So, going back to it, I love it kasi you actually did your research. That's correct. Na, yeah, there's no such thing as spot reduction. Okay? On the technical standpoint, if you show an MRI, an X-ray to your body, right? What is your body composed of? At the very base of that, let's say, Inga, your problem is like arms, right? So, there's a bone in there, right? That's a base layer. And that bone connects to what? Muscle.
Right.
Make it move, right? On the top layer is that fat. Okay. So, the point that I'm trying to get to here is, if there is such thing as spot reduction, it should not be exercise. Why?
Okay.
Every time you exercise a muscle, you put stress to it, right? In order for the muscle to adapt, to survive, or else mapupunit siya, it gets stronger.
Right.
Ergo, it gets bigger,
Right.
right? So how are you gonna use something that makes something bigger to get something smaller,
Right.
right? It just doesn't work that way. So ang mangyayari doon is that the muscle layer underneath is gonna go bigger and bigger and bigger the more you work that. And if you don't eliminate the fat layer on top,
It's not gonna.
may
You're
tawag.
gonna get
yeah.
bulkier.
May
Yung
tawag
itsura mo,
kami
no?
doon. Fatak yung tawag. With an F. Diba?
That's why may mga chabuff, di ba?
Yung chabuff.
Sorry
Matabuff. Matabuff.
Oh.
May
Yeah.
dating buff na tumaba na. Chabuff.
Oh, so you would normally see that, hey, this guy is like, he's not
Yeah.
flabby, he's not
Yeah.
jiggly, but he's big.
Yeah. And that's another misconception that I came across is people think that just because you work out, you're going to get definition. From what I know is if you want definition, like working out will make the muscle larger.
Yes.
And will have definition inside.
Yes.
But if you want to see the definition,
reveal.
you gotta reveal it by reducing the fat
Yeah.
on top of it.
And the best way to reduce the fat is through the nutrition side, the diet.
Nutrition. That's why they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Ayun.
Right?
I just had a funny image. Are you guys familiar with Family Guy.
Yeah, si Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Peter. So one of the episodes there is Quagmire was overusing his right hand.
Oh, okay.
So this was super thin, and then he came out, and this was like
Parang siyang
big.
crab. Batak na batak yung
I
right side.
realized if spot reduction was possible, then all our bodies would look weird because we favor all of us
certain
favor a certain side,
side,
diba?
yeah.
Because there's a
Handedness.
dominant, there's a no. So if there's actually such a thing as spot reduction, then my right arm would be because I'm right-handed.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it just makes sense now, right?
Yeah.
But actually, spot gain, like the thing with Quagmire,
Is real.
it's real, right? I mean, look at bodybuilders.
'Cause it's muscle.
Because it's muscle, right? The moment you have definition, in order to gain that, you just have to keep working that muscle out. So, I mean,
Right.
look at bodybuilders who are very inconsistent. They do this scheme with their workouts called splits. That means they have chest day, you have back day.
Right.
And typically people hate leg day, right?
I hate leg day.
I love leg
So,
day.
balikan natin yung character reference. Diba? You said something about Family Guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to a 90s reference, Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo!
Oh, diba? Oh, laki ng katawan, ang liit ng legs, chicken legs, right? So, bakit possible mag-chicken legs?
Because you don't do leg
Because
day.
you don't do leg day, right?
Never
you
skip leg day.
Diba? You can spot gain, but you can't spot reduce.
Okay,
Oh,
there you go.
Interesting. Maganda yung sinabi mo.
Right?
Yeah.
Yun.
And another misconception or something that I learned along the way is that yung dati kasi, I would do more, move more, exercise more, and eat less. So wala akong recovery. I wouldn't see any improvement in my body. Like, I'm so tired. I keep working out. I don't have energy. I eat less kasi nga, di ba, calories is bad yung perception ko before.
Yun
And then wala naman
din.
ako nakikitang improvement in my body.
That's
Yun, I think, is a
because
misconception, right?
Yeah, it is a possible, it's in a gray area, actually. Because the eating less, moving more, is actually technically correct. Okay, in the sense na, if you are in deficit, then you work out,
yeah.
you will lose weight. Now, it goes deeper in terms of a nuanced answer na, syempre, it's, when you deficit, what did you do to create that deficit? Did you cut out
Right.
an important item?
Or did you work out more?
I think nasobrahan yung deficit ko. I didn't recover well.
There we go.
I
Great.
would work out like 5 to 6 times a week na walang recovery. Like, puro high intensity pa. So,
Oh my
like,
gosh.
So,
and then I
talaga.
realized recovery is so important pala.
So basically, at that point, you weren't dieting, you were starving.
Technically,
Technically,
right?
you were
That's a
starving.
technical starve.
Oh, diba? So that you have
Interesting.
really high demand. So actually, the key word there is the rate. How fast are you going? Now, a typical way to answer that is most healthy recommendations fall under the range of 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week.
Okay.
You lose the fat per... Is that the fat?
The weight.
The weight.
Oo.
Okay.
So notice how I use percentages rather than I just lose 1
Than
to 2
actual
pounds.
numbers.
Correct.
Oo.
Right, yeah.
Kasi if I'm talking to like someone who's starting out, let's say you're 300 pounds, I don't know, 1% is 3 pounds.
Right.
If I apply that same 3 pounds to someone who's like really petite, like you're talking about a really cute 5'2", 100 pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Diba? You lose 3 pounds in a week. I guarantee you, you
That's-
feel like crap.
Yeah, true. That's why percentage is so important.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I just remembered what we were talking about in the last episode also, because you were saying that you were petite, right? But were you ever afraid to drink way or work out too much because you heard na lalaki ka masyado?
Actually, my concern was yung mga supplements like whey, will it affect my kidney? That's what I would hear.
Okay, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bust that. So, whey protein actually has been studied matagal na. Bodybuilders have been using it since 1950s.
Yeah.
Arnold pa, right? So, let's dive into
Yeah.
whey protein specifically.
I think that's why people think, seeing it lang, I think that's why people think that if you drink whey,
Kasi
automatic.
yung icon, no?
Oh, because it's mostly bodybuilders that they associate it with.
Right, right. Because the bodybuilders take a high protein diet. So, but nah, it's like saying you drove a car, first day mo, bukas NASCAR driver ka. It's not gonna happen like that.
Yeah. If it were that easy, right?
Right?
Then
Diba? Kaya challenge ko sa mga, nakikinig sa atin eh. Like, sige, try mo to become a bodybuilder. You don't get there by accident. You get there through continuous dedication, sacrifice, and effort.
daily.
Daily
Years
yun.
ba? Years, no?
Years yun.
Years.
Oh, and even if you're fit, let's say you have someone with six-pack abs already, you look good sa beach, you're nowhere near a bodybuilding competition. It takes you another 1.5 year at least to get there. So, you don't get there by accident. There is no way.
Yeah. Ayoko lumaki. Ayoko.
Oh, hindi ka aabot
It's not
doon.
gonna happen.
That's what I tell my clients as well, really. Coach, pag ganyan, ayoko magbuhat kasi ayoko lumaki. Ang challenge ko, alam mo, kahit subukan mo pa, hindi ka aabot.
Oo,
Kahit
try mo,
gustuhin
try mo.
Kahit maging goal natin siya, sa lifestyle mo ngayon,
Yeah.
hindi natin siya magagawa.
My frequency of workout, and I drink whey every day to recover and to I work out mga 2 hours a day, 3 times a week, and I lift, I do boxing. I still have.
And that's actually a lot, right?
Yeah.
Given a normal person. Because like a normal person would go to the gym, work out, twice? Thrice? Maximum 30 minutes, and that's it. Right? So
Yeah.
going back, whey protein. Saan ba galing yung whey protein? Right? Let's go back to that. Whey protein is actually coming from milk. Okay? So if you're thinking, is whey protein bad? Well, is milk bad?
Curds and whey.
Right, exactly. Curds and
Right?
whey. The
Yeah.
curd is called casein. So that's a cheese. That's a cheese you see everywhere. Mozzarella, any Gouda, and soy cheese, aka taho, the Filipino favorite, that's cheese. Right? The water that's left behind when you cook the milk, diba, it separates.
That's the one.
That's the whey. So si Mang Tataho, yung ini-scoop niyang water, that he
That's
was like,
whey.
That's whey.
Isn't there like a nursery rhyme? Was that something something? Little Bo Peep was watching her sheep eating her curds and whey.
No, I'm not familiar with
I'm not
that.
that.
A little something spider sat down beside her and frightened little something away. I know. Anyway, that was-
I know a way, but I
Yeah.
appreciate the pun.
Yeah.
I see what you tried to do there. Okay, so going back. So yeah, that's whey, right? So if drinking milk is bad, then sure, you can say
That whey is
Whey
bad.
is bad. But we're just basically concentrating all that whey into powder form, and you're redistributing that or reintroducing back to your body as a very convenient source of protein.
So it will not make women big.
Yeah, it's just
Yan.
saying in the context that you eat well, you exercise well, it won't make you big.
So okay lang to take it every day kasi my concern naman is what I would hear na parang ako masama siya sa kidney. It's too much
Too much
supplement.
protein.
Oo.
Right. So it's like saying masama siya sa kidney because it's like saying milk is masama sa kidney. So we go by the rule that anything in excess gets problematic.
Right.
Okay, so the kidney, what does it do? Kidneys are the ones who clean. So everything goes through your liver and then ultimately your kidney, right? So if you take a lot of whey, the human body is not designed to drink that much protein. It's because it's not in its natural form. It's in milk, but in order to get a scoop of whey, you need at least 4 cups of milk.
And
Get the whey, powderize that whey, and drink it back. So parang sinabi mo, you just drank a liter of milk
Yeah.
for 1 scoop. And
That's
then
a
you
lot.
wanna drink it multiple times.
Right.
So of course that becomes bad. But if taken into account your goals, nagagamit mo naman, there's a purpose, it should be fine. Because at the end of the day, supplements are there to supply the missing parts of your diet.
Supplements.
Supplements.
Kasi
Amazing.
not everyone will have a complete diet naman unless you really watch what you eat, diba? Lagi talaga may magkakaroon ng missing
Lagi.
links dyan.
Correct. So, right, in that context na, I mean, sipin mo, kahit ikaw, diba? You have multiple roles.
Yeah.
Content creator, you're hosting, you're on the go, 3 p.m., you're hungry, you need protein. Where is it?
Right.
That's the convenient source.
Ako naman na-overwhelm ako when I look at yung mga whey protein. May whey isolate, whey whatever.
Yeah, what is
Ano
that?
ba yung mga yun?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, so there are multiple types of whey proteins. The most common ones would be concentrate, isolate, and hydrolyzed. Okay, so the concentrate is basically 80% pure whey protein. Pero may naligaw na 20%, 10% lactose. Galing sa gatas.
Okay.
So the processing is not perfect. So typically, it's much creamier, tastes
Okay.
better, more flavorful
Can lactose intolerance drink it
to some degree.
to some degree? Kasi 20%.
Kasi maliit lang. Usually, intolerance naman. So when you say intolerance is that you're not allergic to it. You're not gonna die by drinking it.
Yeah.
But at a certain threshold,
it's
it's
yeah.
gonna start
That's
causing
me.
problems. Right? So you can probably eat stuff that has a little bit of lactose, like maybe pizza, kaya yon. Pero when you start drinking frappuccinos, that's gonna be, you're gonna be on quarantine.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's bad, right?
Yeah.
So there's a certain dosage. So yeah, that's concentrate. Isolate is more pure, up to 90-95% pure protein. So they refined it better to the point na halos 1% na lang yung lactose. So of course, in terms of taste, you will really taste the whey. So there's a weird, if you're not used to drinking whey protein, there's a weird aftertaste that you might associate with something metallic. But typically flavored naman yung whey. So it's creamy, it's flavored, it tastes like milkshake.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't find it offensive.
Yeah.
And then you have this another additional process called hydrolyzation, which makes it easier to mix and digest. Yun lang. Kasi typically, if you powderize something, may curds siya, may chunks.
Yeah. Yes.
Yun. So they hydrolyze it, they add hydrogen to it, so it's easier for it
Yeah.
to dissolve in
Inka,
water.
what do you take?
I just take the usual whey protein.
The usual usually
Yeah.
is a concentrate.
Is a
So
concentrate.
they taste
Okay.
better and everything.
Yeah.
But
I like
if
the
you're-
flavors.
Chocolate, mga ganun.
Oh,
no?
chocolate. There's a lot of
Melon.
flavors like melon and like
Ano
matcha.
ba yun, the flavors?
So the flavors, yeah. Of course, they are additives, but at the end of the day, you want something a little bit more pure. Because in terms of additives, the problem with additives is that you never really know what you're getting.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Especially if you don't know what to watch out for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So my typical practice is when I'm going for whey protein, is that I turn the front packaging, which is always like attractive,
Yeah.
right? Because it's marketing. You turn it around, and then you look at the ingredient list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typical rule: if you want to get what you pay for, you get the least amount of ingredients that's in there.
Right.
So if you want whey protein, you want it to say whey protein. That's it,
Yeah.
I see. Good
Yeah.
tip, good tip.
right?
Yeah.
So the more things you have there,
The more additives.
the more additives you
Yeah.
have. So are you really paying for X pesos for whey protein, or are you paying X pesos for flour, sugar,
flavoring, ganito, ganyan.
yellow number something, right?
Yeah.
So one brand that I really like because it contains third-party testing, meaning it's been sent to another independent lab that's not associated with them.
Okay.
And you can see this upon purchasing the product. And when you turn it around, it really says ingredients: whey protein isolate.
That's it.
That's it. It's done. Okay, so it's very plain. It's very simple. The brand is called NutraBio.
NutraBio.
Yep, exactly. So
Going to
that's a really
add
good brand, and it really tastes. It tastes good as well. It's not overly creamy.
And you can mix it with what? Like fruits?
Yeah, you
Then
could
smoothie, turn it into a
exactly
smoothie.
Got it.
right, because like it's part of it's the protein component of your diet. So you can run fats, you can run carbs with it. So like I said, supplements are there to supply the missing parts of your diet. So if you don't have protein, let's say in the morning you're too lazy to cook something.
Yeah.
You throw in a scoop of whey, and then you think, what's next? Carbs.
Carbs, yeah.
Maybe oats, maybe fruit,
Yeah.
and then fats,
Yeah.
chia seeds,
Yeah.
nuts, right?
Chia seeds are fat.
Yeah, because like seeds and nuts are mostly fat.
Okay.
Ano yung best time to take that smoothie, that protein smoothie?
Anytime actually, anytime that kasi ba, it's to supply the missing need. So the moment that you don't have protein in the meal,
Yeah.
it's good practice to supply that back. So let's say you went into an Italian restaurant. Ano choices mo?
Pasta.
You went like pasta.
Yeah.
And you go like, walang protein to ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Garlic
okay.
bread.
Oh, garlic bread, pizza, right? Or insignificant. Kumbaga may protein siya pero maliit.
Yeah.
Right? So, after enjoying the meal, so you probably are out with your friends and stuff.
Get a protein shake.
Yeah, go to your car, scoop it out, drink it. That's the best time.
Yeah. I drink mine in the morning.
Right. Yeah, that's good too.
That's my breakfast na.
Pwede.
Because like I used to do IF. That's another misconception that I want to tackle today. I want to ask while you're here, while
Right.
I have you.
Free consultation.
Yeah, because
For
this
everyone.
is gold. Is IF are the hours that you eat? Because it was 16-8, ganyan, 12-12. The longer you fast, the more parang what do they call it? There's like when your cells eat the dead cells or the
parang
unhealthy cells.
metabolic rejuvenation,
Something like
whatever,
that.
right?
Is that real?
Okay, so people have something called science and something called pseudoscience.
I love it.
Okay.
Something like pseudoscience. Okay, yes.
So here's the thing about it, about pseudoscience. Pseudoscience for non-scientists, if you're not in that field, it's actually quite hard to distinguish. And that's the problem with our age, actually. Kasi sobrang daming information. You literally go Dr.
Yeah.
Google,
Yeah.
and then you find a list of things that's wrong with you and that's
Yeah.
right with you, and then
Yeah.
they sell you a product.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So the thing with pseudoscience is that it's very hard to distinguish because it's sandwiched. Here's a fact, a scientific fact. Here's a weird, dubious fact, maybe an opinion or an insight, and they sandwich it with a fact again.
Gosh.
So
That's
it's
so
very-
manipulative.
And sometimes the website looks so legit, diba?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
credible. Ganyan.
So even us, let's say experts, right? We sit down, and then when we analyze it per sentence talaga. All the
Right.
claims. We go like statement 1, okay, that's
Yeah.
true. Statement 2, wait, what?
Wait lang, yeah.
Oh, yun.
Yeah.
So going back to that intermittent fasting, if we're talking about the context of weight management, right? It's really nothing special. People have been doing it for quite a while
Yeah.
without really coining it as intermittent fasting. Let's say way back in elementary, you skipped a meal kasi late kang nagising.
Oo.
Didn't you
Intermittent
think-
fasting.
Diba? Intermittent fasting. Wow. Hindi naman. So there's no magic behind intermittent fasting. It's AKA you forgot to eat, you skipped the meal, and that's
Yeah.
it. Right? So the way it works for weight management, diba? So there, you have some friends, right, who did IF and it worked for them because it's a method. It's great, right? I'm happy to hear that.
Mga 1 meal a day, ganyan.
Yeah, sure. You
Oo.
found something that works for you.
Yeah.
That fits your lifestyle. And the best diet kasi naman talaga is something that you can execute day in, day out.
True,
Right?
true.
So when you look at it, what's the mechanism? How did IF work on that department? It worked because
You eat less.
Yeah, you eat less.
So calorie deficit din.
Deficit din. Kasi number one, the human stomach is, it will empty every 2 to 6 hours.
Every 2 to 6.
Okay? So you eat something. Let's say, nag-lunch buffet ka. Nagbaboy ka. Talagang todo kinain mo.
Yeah.
Busog na busog ka to the point na inaantok ka na hindi ka na makahinga. Right? You know that feeling, right? Okay.
Empacho.
Oh, yung pacho. You know, you overate. And with IF, the protocol is what? You only get to eat at X amount of time.
Yeah, and
You have a
sometimes-
window.
Oo, and
Yeah.
sometimes people abuse it, di ba? Parang yung 6 hours na yun, pero wow!
That's the thing. Because,
Nagwahid.
like, I used to do IF before because I was convinced by ganito, ganyan, it works, ganyan. So I wanted to try it out. But what was happening is, psychologically, I was like, this is the only time I can eat. I need to eat as much as I can.
Oo, sinusulit mo.
I overeat. And then I was
Right.
gaining weight. I was like, this isn't working.
Yeah, because I have a couple of friends as well who tried IF. And, I mean, they didn't pay me. So I was like, yeah, go ahead. And to me, oy, sige, experiment to ah.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
slowly, like every few events, I would see them. Parang
hindi.
Parang hindi ah. Parang lumalaki tong mga to ah. So, yeah, that's basically because the same mechanism as what Inka did.
Yeah.
Na sulitin ko. Ito lang 8 hours lang pwede akong kumain eh.
Oo,
So,
yeah.
samgyup ako sa simula. Yung pangalawa, McDo drive ako.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's not magic, right?
Right,
It's
it's
not
not
like this
magic.
is the only window, and then outside of your window, you're magically burning fat.
Yeah, no.
I also read up kasi on IF eh. A lot of those articles, hindi nila sinaspecify yung quality of food that you will take in that window.
That's how
eating
they sell it
window.
eh, di ba?
O basta sinabi lang nila, just don't eat for a certain number of hours and eat for a certain number of hours.
Exactly.
Yun lang. They don't
Because
say
that's
na,
how they sell the diet. They're like, yeah, you can eat whatever you want.
And actually,
Go.
as part of a myth-busting thing, IF is not really a diet as well. Kasi a diet, if you define a diet, it's what a person typically eats or drinks.
Ayun.
Yun talaga yung definition niya, as in
Yeah.
Merriam-Webster levels. Okay, hindi
So
siya...
would you say alcohol is included in a diet? Like, for example, drinking? It is,
could.
right?
Yeah, it could. Kasi a person typically eats or drinks. So
Yeah, because it's your lifestyle. It's part of
exactly.
your
So
lifestyle.
that's a diet. It's not the typical connotation na magda-diet ako. It means weight loss.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, IF is not technically a diet because it doesn't specify what to eat, how much to eat.
Yeah.
It only controls when
Right.
to eat. which is only one of the aspects. So ultimately, if you want to do IF, if it works for your lifestyle, kasi let's say, call center agent ka, di ka na matagal nagbe-breakfast kasi tulog ka,
Yeah.
fine, then do it. Right? Pero in the context pa rin ng principle that check your lifestyle. If you're getting enough calories, great. You're not feeling crappy because you starved, right? Like just like what you experienced before, then you can use that as a tool. Right? Pero if not, then it might be not for it might not be for you.
Right. Basically, it's not a magical shortcut
Yeah, it's
that'll
not
make you lose weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parang it's really a journey, no? Yung fitness and nutrition journey. You really
is
find
talaga.
something that works for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your body. Hindi
Yeah.
porket si ganitong influencer nag-work sa kanya, it will
It's
definitely
gonna-
work for you
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Kailangan talaga you have to find the perfect formula for you.
Because
Exactly.
what I do is I technically IF. Because I don't eat in the mornings, but that's because I like to do fasted workouts.
Great.
Oh, okay
Yeah.
lang ba yun? Yung fasted workout?
Okay, may isa pa
yan,
doon.
Yun, kasi that's what I do.
Ito na
Now
yung
I'm...
next question ko, diba? Kasi some would say, hindi, you need more energy. Kasi if you eat, mas may energy ka at magbuhat, diba?
Right.
But some people will say, hindi, fasted ka para at least you burn your fat right away for that 1 hour.
Okay. Okay, very good point. Okay, so the fasted workout, this topic has been addressed nung early 2000s.
Okay.
Okay. So, tama. 2 valid points. Number 1 is you gotta eat before your workout para you're able to perform really well. Number 2 is you don't eat before your workout so that you use your fat stores
Yeah.
as energy
Yeah.
to put out. So, the way to address this is first you ask the person, ano bang goal mo?
Right.
So it still boils down to
Goes
that
back
person's
to
goal.
that.
Kaya pala ang daming
Back to
information.
episode 1.
Back to episode 1. Kasi, isipin mo ganito. If your goal is to perform, you are an athlete, what's more important? To perform or fat loss?
Perform.
Exactly.
Oo.
So, you gotta eat. Kahit maging detrimental siya sa fat loss mo.
Oo.
Whereas kapag you're a layperson, I don't
Yeah.
care about performance. I just wanna have abs.
Yun.
Fine. Pwede ka mag-fasted training.
Dami
Yeah.
pa natin sinabi, abs lang talaga.
Yun naman
abs
talaga
eh.
yung
Oo.
punot dulo eh.
Yeah,
diba?
true,
It's
true.
like people are vain. It's a valid goal. Most people, actually, the clients I work with nga, medyo nahihiya pa sa first session. I wanna have a healthy relationship with food and manage weight. ganyan,
Just
ganyan,
say
ganyan.
what you want to say.
Tas ultimately, so in simple, abs gusto mo. Yes. Okay. Right? So,
Yeah.
going back to that, carbs kasi, I mean, not just carbs, just food in general.
Yeah.
Your body is smart. It tends to convert things. Right? Yung protein na excess can be converted into carbs. Yung fats na excess can be converted back into carbs if you need the energy. So that's why people tend to be resistant. Kumbaga, resilient.
Yeah.
Kahit na taggutom ka, wala kang makain.
Yeah.
Your body will find ways to survive. And it's smart like that. Of course, some processes are less efficient than others. So that's why you find that kapag di ka kumain, you tend to perform worse.
Right.
Right? So the train of thought there goes, if you eat, won't you be burning more calories because you perform better?
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, because you had more energy.
Yeah.
Interesting. The thing why I don't really eat breakfast or like I do fasted workouts is because after I eat, I get so lethargic and
you
I
feel full.
bloat. That's because of my PCOS. But I drink my protein shake
Yeah.
while I'm working out.
So you're burning your protein shake while you're working
Yun.
out.
Okay, there you go.
Oo. So pwede rin yun. So hindi siya fasted training.
Hindi siya fasted
Oo,
training in
low
that
carb
sense.
training lang siya.
Yun. Okay, so now I have to change my definition because I technically don't do fasted workouts
you
in
don't
that
do
case.
fasted.
Okay.
Okay. So now, going back to that, the answer for fasted training boils down to what are you taking or what type of workout are you doing? Diba? Kasi fasted training siya, it doesn't specify if it's a high-intensity training or a low-intensity
I do
training.
high intensity.
Kapag high-intensity, it's carbs. Kasi carbs give a direct route na eto yung asukal, papasok sa bloodstream mo, asukal na siya, kukunin ni insulin, energy na siya.
So are you saying you're giving me permission to eat a donut before I work out?
No, because the donut
Carbs.
contains fat.
Dang it.
Okay. You want an IV drip unless you wanna, if your workout is
tried.
30 minutes long and you only plan to last for 10
Right.
minutes,
Okay.
then sure, have a donut.
So it's an avocado toast.
Pwede.
Ganon.
Yes.
Okay.
That could work well. That could work well.
Okay. And then how long, for example, how long do I? Because you can't eat, you can't work out right after you eat, right?
Right.
Or is that a myth?
You technically can, pero syempre it takes time for digestion to happen.
You're right. So
Right.
when does the IV drip start dripping?
Typically, it starts already the moment that the food hits your tongue.
Because digestion begins in the
Yeah,
mouth.
yep. Your saliva, it breaks down the food, and there are certain pores in your taste buds that start absorbing sugar.
Interesting,
So
I
that's
didn't
why.
know that. I was today years old.
Oh, congrats. So, ayan, worth it ang pagpunta. So, basically, you see this in people who get hypoglycemic, meaning low blood sugar, right? Nahihilo sa workout, here's candy. Right? And then they pop right back up. Right? Because it starts in the mouth. So, meron na, it starts. Pero full digestion, just so that you're not bloated and overly fed while doing your workouts. Typically, smaller items like snacks
Yeah.
can be consumed around an hour prior.
Okay. So basically my, let's say, avocado toast on like wheat bread with
Oh,
butter and
and
then
egg.
egg an hour before
An
workout.
hour
ganon.
before. Oh.
Okay, I will start doing
Yan.
that.
And if you don't have time to even do that, plug in that whey protein shake, turn it into a smoothie,
Yun.
chug it, yan. Go
Add a
do your
banana,
thing. Oh,
ganyan.
tapos warm up ka, mga 30 minutes, gulong-gulong ka.
Saya.
Tapos ayun na, mag-start ka na
Okay.
mag-workout.
I want to start doing that, and I wanna see how that changes my workouts.
Yeah,
moving
you'll feel
forward.
better, definitely.
Love that.
Yun. Tapos the opposite side of that, what if slower intensity yung preferred workout mo in the morning, like yoga? Maybe you're fond of like walking, stretching lang, baka jogging lang, right? At a lighter pace, at a very chill pace while you're listening to us in this podcast.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, if you plan to do that, fats become a preferential source of energy. Okay? And you have a lot of fats in your body technically, right? So, you have an unlimited source of energy already built into you. Now, the problem with this source of energy is that it's stored. So, if you've ever experienced, parang let's say bumili ka ng isang sapatos or isang bag sa mall, ma'am, may size kayo. Pupunta pa dun sa bodega.
Right, check namin sa likod.
Check namin sa likod. Takes you what, mga 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, right? And then it comes back. The same thing happens to fats. Your body needs to get it from storage
first.
unlock certain, necessities, and then come back. And then here's your energy.
I love that. Do you guys watch anime?
I do.
Cells at Work.
I didn't know.
It's so cool. It basically breaks down how the body operates, like to a cellular level, but they're personified. So like they're people like
So basically, it's a really easy way to teach biology.
yes. So that's what I imagined when you were talking about like kukunin lang namin sa likod yung fat.
Yeah,
Wait lang.
exactly. Yeah, kukunin pa namin. So it takes a while. That's why it's not preferential for higher intensity activities. Because higher intensity means, okay, you have 1 minute, let's do
Now,
as many
now,
reps
now.
as you can.
Yeah.
And then the person's to get the energy is like, hey, where are you?
Wait lang.
All right. So that's why
Yeah.
your body's forced to slow down, no more energy. You start to
Yeah.
have a headache. You start to feel weak.
There you go.
And because it's gone.
Okay.
Right? So that's a very basic way to explain that. So, in a nutshell, quotable quote, if you're going to do a fasted workout, low intensity, chill pace.
Okay, got it.
And
got it.
that's what will start your body tapping into its
Yep.
fat
Yep.
stores.
And you can last longer. You can do a longer duration, lower intensity na workout.
Okay.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Same. So, as an example, for people listening, let's say you work out 3 times a week, you're high intensity. You will eat a good balanced meal an hour before.
Yeah.
And then you have your recovery after.
Yep.
Right?
Perfect.
And then in between that, let's say you're 2 times a week or whatever recovery days, you want to do like a more low intensity workout, you do fasted yoga.
There we go.
Yay! Let's do this, Inka.
That's a more scientifically based like
Good.
I love
program.
that.
It's a good program
Yeah.
actually. So
Body hacking
for
eh.
the
Yeah.
viewers out there, that's actually a really good template. So
Yeah.
moving that much 5 times a week, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
the same.
Because that's what I
routine.
do.
Okay.
That's what I
yun
do.
pala,
But
diba?
minus the food
Tweaks.
tweaks. Yeah. So now I'm gonna start doing that.
Right.
Parang ina-outsmart natin yung body natin, di ba? Like, what
Yeah.
hacks we can do.
Yeah. Do you
for it
guys
to
play
perform better.
games? Do
Yeah,
you play games?
okay, that's
Final
actually-
Fantasy has this
Right, yeah.
the junction system,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
You can basically hack that
Yeah,
and
exactly.
become OP.
Yeah, you have your
parang
own
ganun.
build,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah. Okay. Exacto.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. So,
that.
yeah, coming into this, a lot of myths and misconceptions actually starts from something that's misunderstood. So, like what Val said, that you want to hack your stuff, right?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
about hacking per se, but it's about creating or understanding what you have to work with.
Yeah.
So you're not really outsmarting your body. You're just working with.
Yeah. Your body's like, no.
Oh, your body's like, excuse me. You're not outsmarting
Friend ba
me.
yung body?
Oh, excuse
po.
me. Alam ko na to.
You're basically just learning the functions.
Oh, hindi mo
right?
lang ako gets. Napag-gets mo na siya ngayon.
Yun, oo.
You know how to fuel it properly.
Yes, there you go. So, for example, you have a car, right? And then it's a diesel engine, but you put like a different kind of gas. That's not gonna that's gonna ruin your car,
Exactly.
basically, no?
Perfect.
Hindi ka pwede maging NASCAR driver.
Hindi nga pwede maging NASCAR driver na mali yung fuel. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
ayan. So basically, I hope everyone has cleared up some of their initial thoughts, their
Yeah.
doubts.
So much. So
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
I'm so happy that we did this. I'm so happy for thank you for having us and giving us this free consultation.
Yeah, kasi despite all the knowledge that or information that we see online, ang dami pa pala nating hindi alam, and we
Yeah.
learned it today. So thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah.
You are welcome
And
very much.
also to our listeners, remember to be discerning with the kind of content that you consume. Like, don't just believe someone wearing a white coat, for
Definitely.
example.
Or naked.
Or naked. Don't believe naked people. You go to trusted sources because, people like Coach, they studied for this. They know what they're talking
years.
about. 8 years.
Just plugging that in there.
Don't let that go to waste.
Mahal yung degree.
And of course, listen to Nutrition Depot podcast, diba? You learn all these things for free.
Yes.
Definitely. All right. So see you guys next
Yeah.
time. And thank you again.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.